If you need help with practicing your writing skills, check out these workbooks that can be useful in improving your academic writing skills. The link is in the description below. A process essay is a type of essay that explains how something is done or how something works by explaining or giving step-by-step instructions. There are two types of process essays. The first is something we call directional. This type of essay shows how to do something. For example, how to cook eggs or how to use Excel. It's often written in the second person, using the word you. For example, it might say, first you need to, and then continued the instructions. It's a set of instructions which the reader will be able to follow to complete the process. It's often used in daily life and are used in tutorials or instructional steps for people or companies to follow. The second type of process essay is what we call informational. In this type of essay, we show how something works. For example, how solar panels work, or creating products from plastic. These types of essays are often written in the third person and are used more in academic writing. They often use the present passive, and the emphasis is more about the action, not on who is doing the action. As you can see, a process essay can range from something very simple, like how to drive a car, to more complex topics such as the cleanup process of water and land contamination after catastrophes. Here are a few steps to writing a good process essay. For the directional style essay about how to do something, the first thing you need to do is to present the essential steps to the process. Then you need to explain the steps in detail. You will use words such as first, next, then, finally. It will then present the steps in logical order, which is usually the chronological or a time order that the process is done. You may need to define certain words in your essay so that your reader will understand clearly. Here are a few possible process essay topics. How do you make lasagna? Instructions on how to assemble a bicycle. Outline the steps to opening a bank account, and so on. These topics are more of the directional style of process essay because they are more of a how to do something than a how does something work type of essay. All of these topics would include steps to explain the process for accomplishing the task. The introduction paragraph should introduce the process and why it is important or necessary. You could include some background information here as well. Your next paragraph should list all of the necessary parts or resources needed for the process. It could also include the purpose for the method chosen. The next paragraph or paragraphs should show the actual process in order. Remember to include transition words between the different sections or steps. The conclusion will discuss the main result and restate the purpose. Let's take one of the topics as an example. How do you make lasagna? The first thing you need to do is to make your outline for your essay. This could be a possible outline. And this could be your written essay. You can see the first paragraph gives background information about what lasagna is. The second paragraph gives the list of ingredients needed to make lasagna. The third paragraph gives the actual directions, step by step. And finally, the conclusion restates the topic and why you should try making lasagna by following these instructions. Now let's look at the informational style of process essays, where you write about how something works. These are topics that are often used at the more academic level. It is often also called a process analysis essay, which is a technical type of essay that explains complex concepts in a clear way and analyzes each of the steps in detail. This is the type of essay that would be written at an academic level. The first step to this type of essay is to understand the assignment. You need to know your audience and what their knowledge level and skill level is. This will help you decide what level of vocabulary can be used, as well as if there is a need to explain certain words. Step 2 is to do some research about the topic. Step 3 is to write the first draft. Step 4 is to revise your essay, and Step 5 is to edit and proofread. Here are some possible process analysis type essay topics. How to manage time properly. Show an effective way to manage group projects. How do plants react to different stimuli? Let's take one of these topics and see how we would write this kind of essay. Step number 1 was to understand the assignment. If we chose the topic, show an effective way to manage group projects, we would need to understand that we need to find the effective way. This would mean we would want to find the best way to do this process. We also need to be careful to talk about how to manage group projects, not just projects in general. There is a very clear distinction here. So you need to understand your assignment and write accordingly. And as we said before, you need to know your audience. What is their knowledge about this topic or their skill level? This will help you in choosing the type of vocabulary that you will need to use in your essay. Step 2 was to do some research about your topic. Perhaps after doing some research, you find that these are some basic steps that are often recommended for managing group projects. You'll want to use these ideas in your essay. Here's a possible outline for your essay. You can see that some of the ideas have been combined for possible body paragraphs. Step 3 is to write the first draft. Using your outline, you will want to begin writing your essay. In the introduction, you could write something like this. Managing group projects can be a complicated and challenging undertaking. However, if certain steps are followed, the group project will be accomplished with fewer mishaps. Now, you would continue finishing your introduction paragraph with your purpose and method for explaining this topic, including the thesis statement. The first body paragraph from your outline is to define the primary goal and assign main responsibilities. You could write something like this. Now notice how there are transition words when moving from one idea to the next. In this paragraph, we've used the word moreover. The next body paragraph was about the need to create smaller goals but be flexible. Again, notice the transition words being used in this paragraph, both at the beginning and in the middle of the paragraph. You would continue with your paragraph by writing the third body paragraph about building a reliable team and using collaboration tools. Your paragraph might look something like this. Finally, you want to write your conclusion, which could begin something like this. You now have your first draft written, so your next step would be to revise anything that needs to be changed. This may include adding some new material or taking away unnecessary information from the essay. And finally, you want to edit and proofread your essay. And that is how to write a process essay. I hope you now have a better understanding of how these types of essays can be written. Happy writing! And be sure to check out my workbooks that are designed to be used along with these videos.